Hey everybody, I am going to quickly get some things and then I will start the stream fully. Right now I'm just doing things. By that I mean just getting to the right windows. Because everything is always madness. And my phone always goes mad when I start a stream. I kid, but I'm just going to mute the mic as I run downstairs for some of those things I need. Be back in a second. Super chat. Alright, I am back. We are going to start in a minute. 4 minutes, and things will begin. And also, I want to thank Perpy for the $1 donation. Way to start things off. But as always, appreciate the charitable donations and just, yeah. Just your kindness and support for the channel. Oh shoot, another one. As I say that, yes, it's Perpy. Notice me. $2 from Perpy. I already noticed you. Do I have to do this a second time? God damn. What a shame. My dog here is just also kind of chilling because I'm not sure if my brother's awake or not. He could be, he could maybe not be. It's like super chat. That. Yes, the super chat being delayed as usual. Anyway, let's start now. Welcome back, everybody. Dirk the Red Panda, back again with Minotaur Hotel. And by back again, I mean it's been a while since I played this one. And not for any lack of content or quality or any of that. Just because I got caught up with some other novels and all the mix of things, so. Honestly, I'm relieved to get back to this one. I kind of needed a couple of days just in general, just to get my head in a better space. I was trying to work on my VN. We're kind of in a bit of a weird scenario where one person's on vacation and others kind of back and forth with some other projects, so. At the moment, it's like I got the written parts of it done, but the additional assets I'm kind of waiting on, and I'm going to kind of post those updates as they get implemented to the game. So that's my Ocean Avenue news, but we're here for Minotaur Hotel, aren't we? So Minotaur Hotel. We ended on chapter 10 last time, if I am correct. I just checked before the video too, so I should be 100% right. Yes, I am. Yeah, we are chapter 11, Tech. Because we are techy. I don't know why I said that, but we are very tech savvy. I guess techie is a very short way of saying tech savvy. A shorter version of technologically savvy. Honestly, we just keep reverting as human beings. Our brains will just... I kid. Oh, I don't think I've noticed this before. Funny thing is, I don't think the updates come out yet. At least I haven't checked. Didn't realize that was a files folder, so I'm just playing around. And Perpy again being generous as heck with a 99-cent donation with the $sign face. Super chat. Why, thank you, Perpy. Once again, whatever you can do, watching or paying or whatever it is, I appreciate it. I didn't mean to start it as like, please do this. I guess I just kind of stumbled at the beginning of that sentence. And I think I heard my brother's door open, maybe. That or I am hearing things. But yes, nonetheless, we have chapter 11 here. Didn't have much else to say other than Ocean Avenue stuff, Ocean Avenue fundraiser. Yes, my brother just opened his door, and that's okay because I'm just making sure my dog don't go crazy. It's like he's also got to leave soon because night shifts be like that. Wake up in the afternoon, work at night. Man. A schedule that I think would personally be better for me. But honestly, I don't have much of a schedule right now just because I'm... Yeah. I have some job recruiters that I'm looking at, but it's like they're like giving me a few weeks before we start or whatever. So yeah. I've been in this weird limbo state, so that's been my life. That is my form of entertainment, my life. And also, if you want to support my Ocean Avenue fundraiser, basically it's those Paradise shirts. I have one that I haven't worn yet, technically, or well, fully have not worn and thrown in the hamper already. Wore the white one the other day and did some hard exercise, so I'm not going to be wearing that right now. It was also in my last video, the one that I just uploaded, so, you know, if you wanted to see that shirt for reference, go check out my recent video I just uploaded last night. This is the shirt I have not worn yet, and this is the color that everyone has chosen so far. I thought people would choose pink or white, so, like at least some people, just to get some variety, or just, you know, like the brightness. But yeah, people love this one, like... People really love this blue for some reason, and props to them. I think the colors go pretty well on it, and according to my, guess, test batches I've done for these, it's the only one that doesn't get messed up by me doing the wrong thing. Which I will not do the wrong thing on y'all's shirts, so... Basically what happened was I forgot to put, like, an extra protective layer for like the darker colors, and because of that the ink just bled too much. This one the ink wasn't too bad either way, so yeah, if you want a very clean shirt like this, or a bright worded shirt with a nice dark but still bright color, this is the navy option. The other options are pink and white, and as I throw that shirt down, fundraiser is here. This will help me with my own VN. But let's continue on with Minotaur Hotel. Blue's canonically the most popular color. I don't know if I'm gonna do Remember the Flowers. I already feel like I have a big list as is already. I might check it out maybe in my like free time, maybe just to see if I would be interested. I feel like I need to do that a little more often instead of being like, okay, let me start everything immediately live. Because otherwise I feel like, you know, I'm gonna just get stuck and not want to choose anything. Ah, shoot, the reading begins right about now! Ah, it's a bit late, but Yes, 10 minutes. We are starting the reading now. Anyway, y'all ready for chapter 11? Sounds like the music is. You awaken, but unlike the other days, it is not because of the clopping of hooves. No, this fine morning you leap out of bed with a breathless urgency. There is the distant but unmistakable sound of a flute. A chill snakes up your spine to the back of your skull. There he is. Oh, Asterion. So shy, yet so kind. As soon as you get out of your room, you find Asterion sitting at the dinner table, looking at his own hands, speechless. Just the sound of your footsteps makes this head jerk to you, ears whipping around. Visions of Argos, the snake, are already flashing through the Minotaur's mind. You tell him to stay. Today, you'll deal with the foreman by yourself. You make your way down. The snake's wooden flute beckons you. The melody is at times disconnecting in how large the gaps between the notes are. So much is left to the imagination. It is more of a tribal call than it is a song. One you'd hear as a sign between villages sending messages to each other. The notes draw your steps forward. The loose rocks at the bottom of the hotel shudder as you hop from one to the other. It's a balancing act, each one a scale shifting under your weight. You keep your feet tense and your arms spread out. At times, it is almost as if the rocks sway in your favor, to keep your center of gravity aligned. You feel the sun's warmth on your head first, combing over your skull. Then the pinks, oranges, and blues of the land are laid bare before you. There at the threshold, it is clear how the wind howls and groans as it slithers into the hotel's cave and crawls upwards. A constant, chilly breeze prickles your skin. But it's not altogether unpleasant. The cold makes your own inner warmth all the more alive. It is you, a flickering speck of humanity, against the unyielding majesty of this haunted valley. There he is, the little guy. Is everybody just short in this update, or is everybody just super far away? Anyway, Argos' song ends with an extended note. At first grave as it drifts across the valley, but turning lively just a moment before it ceases. The snake looks down at you from the statue, no less than 5 meters above you. The difference would leave many uncomfortable. How easy would it be for him to pounce on you? But the snake holds his flute with both hands, almost cradling it against his chest. With his arms close together, he seems altogether small, even if that silver-tongued smile persists. He too takes a moment to look you up and down. He covers his mouth to stifle a burst of childlike giggling. My bright-eyed lord, once more it is an honor to witness your grace. A fine day it is, and it shall be, when your countenance blesses this valley. To be given a purpose. What is a watchdog good for with no master to follow and no heifer to guard? I hope your experience so far has been as enriching as mine. Tell me,
Has the mirror provided thee with comfort? Has your first batch of guests arrived?
Oh, there he is. The snake leans forward, eager for your every word. Were he not coiled around the statue, he would fall like a wet noodle. But that seems to bring him no discomfort. In fact, it almost seems as if he wants to climb down and meet you eye to eye. His slitted gaze does not budge from you, following even the smallest shifts in your posture. It is not often such intense focus is placed on anyone. Discomfort would be a common reaction, yet his gaze lacks a predator's edge. I'm doing well, Argos. The mirror has been very useful. The hotel has completely changed after we got the fire going. It's incredible what this realm can accomplish. Asterion was showing me some of its capabilities, and we have people working on some technology right now.
I see. Very well. Indeed, it is a prisoner's duty to inform you of the realm's workings. His obligations must not be neglected. But I cannot lie. It is no surprise our Lord cares so much about technology. That indeed is human nature, to always seek change and movement. These plain walls shall not entertain the man for long. And if you shall not spend your time putting the hybrid through his trials, then technology becomes all the more imperative. Human nature, like fire, requires fresh kindling often.
What do you know about human nature? You're no man. And what have you seen of humanity in its place? Or this place? And about technology? How can you know anything? Judging by what I can see, the most you have ever mastered is leatherworking and wood carving.
Our Lord has a sharp tongue. Indeed, I know very little. Never have I ventured beyond this valley, and forever will I remain here. But I know of the gods, and of the heroes' old tales. I am an old-fashioned snake. All the epics I have memorized, all their beautiful poetry. Mankind at times displays qualities which extend the gods. I do not scoff at human ingenuity, my lord. To diminish the importance of wit would be a very unsnake-like of me, would it not? Alas, what a beautiful way for us to arrive at the purpose of today's visit. My bright-eyed lord, I have the contract ready for your signature.
Good. Stop dawdling and let's do it. He reaches in under his cloak, but stops while containing a giggle.
Before we proceed, I should ask for your forgiveness. I made a grave mistake while drafting that previous version. As it were, it implied I would have a right to enter and inspect the hotel, and that, as we both know, is forbidden by ancient law. We would be systematically bound, or symmetrically bound by this article. Since you could inspect my accommodations, so would I be able to inspect yours. What an honor to be to serve a lord as sharp-eyed as you. I see the qualities of a bright-eyed Athena in you. I am sure it was her hand which plucked you from among mankind.
He throws you the scroll. You take a good look at it. That's all the articles. Now, you can say for sure this contract is correct and delightfully in your favor. It states that you have the right to inspect the foreman's housing while reinforcing the ancient law which forbids the valley's creatures from entering the hotel. No tricks this time. Good.
Certainly not. You may think my words are flattery, but today I am inspired only by honesty. I respect a bright-eyed man who can cut truth from deceit. Ah, what fun we shall have, you and I. A privilege it is to serve a master such as you.
Fun? I'm afraid I disagree. Your definition of fun involves a lot of torture, which is something this realm would be deprived of during my management. I believe your life with me around will be one of intense, unending boredom. Perhaps you should ask your gods to have you removed.
But there lies the fun. It all comes down to the human nature. All of your kind grow bored of it all. The monotony, day in and day out, always the same thing. And there, right up there, is that hybrid. You can do whatever your heart desires. He cannot defend himself. And if such is your command, neither will he tell anyone about it. There is an allure to it. It is not entertaining, stimulating even, to see one such as him suffering. A wretched being put through the extremes he deserves.
Hey, no scratching. Trying to scratch through the door to get out.
To see your inevitable change. That, to me, will be the greatest spectacle. It is clear to see that you and I do be dear friends in due time.
Fat chance. You still have a lot to learn about human nature. Well, are we done here? I'd very much like to go back to my hotel.
No, not yet. First, sign the contract. And then there is one more topic we must discuss.
You sign it and throw it back up to the snake.
Very good. Now, I have some information that might interest you.
Uh-oh, be careful when you deal with Argos. There is a route where you sided with him. Oh, this can be interesting.
It is quite a simple affair. I found a bottle of wine. That special kind which heals the Minotaur. It is quite a rare thing nowadays, since it cannot be willfully created by the masters. It has a penchant for appearing mostly, but not exclusively, here in the valley. Of course, I am forbidden from drinking it, and it is useless to me anyway. So I am willing to part with it, if certain conditions are met. What do you say, master? Are you willing to barter with this humble servant?
Yes, but I want to know exactly where your terms are before I get involved.
Of course. In fact, I want you to listen very carefully to my conditions. They are very specific. I have been thinking about them for such a long time.
When you put it like that, it's almost as if there was some kind of twist. Such an honorable snake like yourself wouldn't do that, would you?
Me? Trick the master? I'd never. You see, it is my duty to make sure you become a right and proper master. And that includes teaching you the importance of contracts, both written and verbal. Let's discard all pretense, yes? Allow yourself to be tricked, and I will take the opportunity. But know that it's for your own good. Master, it will be a magnificent learning opportunity either way. Now I shall recite my conditions.
Good. Go on. Let's get this over with.
Just last night, after I finished my prayers and rites, I found a bottle of wine. Now, I thought about giving it to you. After all, you are my lord. But why not take this as a fun, bonding moment? I shall give it to you if you do this one specific thing for me. I want you to prove your piety to the divine. After all, the realm's master is supposed to serve them and enact their will, is he not? In ancient times, a hecatomb would be enacted. 100 bulls would be sacrificed to the gods. But today's humans seldom enjoy getting their hands dirty. Here's what must be done. Further to the east, you shall find a dry riverbed beside an old, broken down set of kilns. There, you'll find a fitting sacrifice. There should be a bundle with 100 lamp. There should be a bundle with a hardened lump. Not too different from coal. Inside the most decaying of all kilns. You must take the offering and burn it, dedicating it to the divine. To the south of the hotel, the valley goes further down, until it reaches a plateau. There is a path to its top, where you will find shrines to a few deities. Old, majestic shrines to the gods, created by the deities themselves when this realm was born. Pick any of the god-made shrines and burn the offering.
I feel like I'm gonna fail this riddle so dang badly. Wait. So you'll only give me this bottle if I venture into the valley and fetch this thing? Okay, first of all, how can I be sure this is not a fake bottle? How can I know that you're not giving me false directions? And 3, is it absolutely necessary for me to prove the piety to the gods in this way? Can I just order you... Jesus Christ, Argos. Bah!
In the name of the gods, why so many questions, master?
Because you are trying to scam me?
I'm giving you a kind offer. I'll admit, expecting some effort on your part. And this is how you repay me? Pelting me with questions? Silence, dog.
No, Oreo. Please do not make sounds. Please rest.
Very well. Let's make a game out of this, shall we?
I've had enough of your games, Argos!
Would you rather I answer none of your inquiries then, master?
Fine. What do you want?
I will repeat everything I just said. You can interrupt me at any time to ask what you want. But I will only allow you to do it 3 times.
3 times? What the heck, are you, a genie? Dirk, make sure you pay attention to the conditions. Me, who forgot the conditions 5 seconds ago. Thank you for this nifty log. Okay. Hair tomb, 100 bulls will be sacrificed, blah blah blah. So, go further to the east and find a dry riverbed. Who's gonna be taking notes for me? Class, can one of you take notes? You'll get extra credit at the end. And a bag of M&Ms. These are Skittles. Am I an idiot? Goodness, I was going to like record this, but then I just don't want to record every single stream I do just so I don't have to do like 5 Dirk Abridged like a week or whatever, every 2 weeks or something. I don't want to end up doing like 10 a month or something crazy like that, just because it costs money to have edits. Dang. But we love you, Shin, if you see this. Also, make sure to send him Bowser art, because Bowser appreciation. But anyway, let's listen to the conditions and eat some Skittles. He's just gonna repeat it. Okay. I swallowed 3 M&Ms in honor of the 3 times we can interrupt.
Yes. Nice terms. Yes. 9 terms. 3 interruptions. I would say that is fair. 1 interruption per 3 turns. Or 1/3 of an interruption per turn. But you can't do that because that's impossible. Oh, look at me, I'm so evil.
I want to choose a different option. No, I can't. I'm just gonna do this. And just like Josh Duboview, or whatever the heck that guy's last name was. Oh, I thought it said "that sounds good to me." Like his song. The one that got last in Eurovision, because I keep making Eurovision references and making the entire chat groan. I'll sing it in the tune of "That Sounds Good to Me." 3 sounds good to me. You decide to be happy with what you're given and not press for more. Fine. Ooh, the placement of questions are important. I am sure they are. Maybe I should save. Better save than sorry. You don't even find my joke funny? I'll tell you what's funny. Oh, sorry, Oreo, I didn't mean to pet you that hard. My dog here, named after the cookie. Speaking of which, you're making me hungry. For Oreos, not you. Don't take offense. And my brother's awake, so if you want to see him, be free. Go downstairs. Yeah, might as well get some enjoyment in there. Anyway, let's get ready. And thanks, Emerald, for the instructions, and whoever else said stuff. Is it Ledok Huntron? Yeah, I think they also gave me advice. Let's get going.
Splendid. I will repeat my terms then. Just Just last night, after I finished my prayers and rites, I found a bottle of wine.
Objection! You are not an alcoholic!
Now, I thought about giving it to you. After all, you are the Lord. But why not take this as a fun bonding moment? I shall give it to you if you do this one specific thing for me.
I am too dumb to object yet.
I want you to prove your piety to the divine. After all, the realm's master is supposed to serve them and enact their will, is he not?
Wait. Why do you want me to prove it? Everybody press X to doubt! Amaril's saying that the statements being important is making me super, like, hyper-vigilant. Because I'm the worst at making choices. Look at where I am now. But... X. 1 X so far. If you need a hint, don't bother questioning any statement that snake cannot lie about. I want to question it, but I wanted to question the first part, not the second. Why do you want me to prove the piety? Objection! Can't I prove my piety some other way? Let's see this.
I would welcome your faith in all shapes. But if it's the wine you seek, then I shall only cooperate if you enact this right.
Damn it! I was not supposed to interrupt! I effed up. I fudged hard. This is the most I fudged ever. Well, we gotta keep going.
I would love to see you making an inadequate offering. Like the ones in the modern religions. Impious wretches, the whole lot of them. In ancient times, a hecatomb would be enacted. 100 bulls would be sacrificed to the gods. But today's humans seldom enjoy getting their hands dirty.
Me, as an American. Are you sure about that? $100? I'm gonna eat some Skittles to doubt that. Don't interrupt yet. So we're gonna go through all these 9 statements, and we could probably replay the skipping statement 3 thing if we want, and see which other one we would do instead. But we're just gonna keep going for now. Don't worry, you only need 1 right, so 1 of 3. Try your best. Oh, you don't know how badly I can mess things up. It's like we got Argos just speaking. It's like, in modern ancient times, and hecatomb be enacted, and it's just me just eating Skittles. Like, I'm sorry, what? This is gonna turn into Todd Pie ASMR, and that is gonna be sad. And dang it, I keep finding the best jokes when I don't record. Anyway, I mean to skip it. I was about to hit question.
Here's what must be done. Further to the east, you shall find a dry riverbed beside an old, broken down set of kilns.
I don't see any problem with that.
There you shall find a fitting sacrifice. There should be a bundle with a hardened lump. Not too different from coal. Inside the most decayed of all kilns.
Me who needs to look up what a kiln is. A furnace, or okay. It's one of them furnace thingies. Old kiln. Well, why would a kiln be in a riverbed? I don't know, but I'm skipping.
You must take the offering and burn it, dedicating it to the divine.
Wait. Hold on, I need to go back. So we're taking the coal, the hardened lump, not too different from coal, and we're burning it. Seems fine to me.
To the south of the hotel, the valley goes further down.
Wait a minute, we're going east, though.
Until it reaches a plateau. There is a path to its top, where you'll find shrines to a few deities.
Okay, I need to question either 6, 7, or 8. I think those are going to be the ones. Interrupt! Yes! Objection! To the south? Well, I mean, it's to the south of the hotel, but you told us to go east. How are we going to look south if we're just, like, going really east of the hotel? Or east from... You know what I mean. Is this on the east quadrant of the hotel? Like, are we at the east end of the hotel? I need dimensions, damn it! To the south? That sounds very vague. That statement is sour like these Skittles.
Worry not, my lord. Shortly, I will tell you how to reach it. I wish to verify your dedication to the Olympians above all else. I have no interest in seeing you getting lost. As that would only distract from my goal, and detract from it too. Worry not about such details, master. Oh, the majestic shrines to the gods, created by the deities themselves when this realm was born. Pick any of the god-made shrines and burn the offering.
Okay. I mean, I got one question left. I mean, why the hell not? One of the god-made shrines. Are you implying one of them is not god-made? That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, this one was bought from eBay and shipped out here. Perhaps. Oh my, aren't you a sharp one?
I'm as sharp as a spoon.
One of the shrines, the smallest, shyest one by far, is dedicated to some forgotten deity dating back to who knows when. Such a diminutive thing. It's just a cairn, pile of rocks, with a length of fabric tied around it. I suppose it's some ancient form of worship.
So the red fabric tied or whatever one, the small pile of rock thingies. Don't do that. Got it.
Whatever it is, I assure you it pays no homage to the Olympians. And that should be no reason alone to avoid it. Worst of all, I'm afraid it was erected by the bull himself. It bears no legitimacy.
Ooh, fool us.
Ignore it. I have no duty to give you the bottle should you offer the sacrifice to it. With that said, any one of the god-made shrines will do. And I really do mean it.
I'm gonna go to Aphrodite, the one with the sex.
I hope you're satisfied with your inquiries, master.
So that's the task at hand then? Make a sacrifice and prove my piety to the gods? And then you will give me the bottle?
Haven't I kept my word so far, master? I'll even make it more attractive to you. I'll put a bikini on it. As a token of goodwill, I left some treasure behind the kiln.
I think that number 7 was needed. Uh-oh. Think about it. Maybe I should ask Asterion. Get a heads up on what I might find here.
Must you always involve the prisoner in all of your affairs? Very well. Then go back to the creature. However, when you climb up the stairs and up to your hotel, make sure to climb 2 steps at a time. After all, I don't know how much longer I can keep holding onto this bottle without it letting slip and shatter. Oh, that can be so clumsy sometimes.
Number 7 is just more for the bull hubby backstory. Okay. I could care less at this point. We don't need no hubby backstory. Excuse me?
Yes, I do think that is a thing that might happen. If your devotion to the gods is not proven in, let's say 2 days. Does that work for you?
Wait, 2 days? You can't be serious. That wasn't part of the deal.
So you think piety is something someone can procrastinate on, is it? Well, that's just wonderful. Some master you are. You know, I'm beginning to have second thoughts about this bottle. Maybe you really are not worthy after all. Say, I am feeling awfully thirsty this morning.
Fine. 2 days it is. As long as you don't make up any of more stupid rules. Do we have a deal?
The snake slithers closer to you.
You flinch for a second, but when you look back, you see his hand outstretched towards you. Argos sports the widest grin he's given to you so far.
Sounds good to me, master.
You're out of options. Whatever loops he might make you jump through are worth the reward. You shake Argos' hand, but you make your disgust clear by wrenching your hand out of his grip when it's over. The serpent laughs at you.
Well then, no time to waste. Up you go.
Oh, thank God I'm done with his voice. I hate it. You turn around and start walking back towards the cave. This is not how you expected your morning to start. As you make your way, Argos' words echo in your head, and the full weight of the task at hand begins to dawn on you, as opposed to dusk. As you recall his last line, you notice your feet are picking up the pace. By the time you make it to the staircase, you are at a full-on sprint. You curse at the snake as you, indeed, climb 2 steps at a time, just like you said you would. Things are off to a bad start. You haven't even begun your task, and you're already jumping through Argos' loops. Oh, Asterion. You arrive at the master's quarters, where Asterion is already dressed and waiting for you with a somber face. He is biting his lip, holding himself from asking any questions while you catch your breath. Good morning, Asterion.
Good morning, master. How did it go?
Well, I do have good news and bad news. You catch Asterion up on everything Argos told you. The contract, the bottle, your task, the 2-day limit. You expected him to perk up when hearing about the wine bottle, but it seems like he contained his excitement, as if he was expecting the inevitable caveat. So, yes, we have 2 days to go get the bottle. I decided to come ask you what I'd be up against instead of going to the labyrinth right away. Asterion ponders on the situation for a moment, before his face eases into a smile, strained with a lot of baggage behind it, but a smile nonetheless. I appreciate your concern, Master, but I don't think the bottle is worth the trouble. The labyrinth houses a lot of dangers I would rather you be spared from. I can heal just fine on my own. I would just take longer. No, I mean it. If I can help you get back to your former self, I will do everything I can. There's also the matter of the internet project. I think this will distract us from getting it finished. I fear that if we do not focus on it, we will lose some guests, or even worse, fail to attract them in the first place. But this is urgent. We have a dilemma in our hands then. If we have to choose between one or the other, I suggest we focus on the internet project. Wait a minute. Maybe we can multitask. Just like the internet. Multitask? Well, we have you, Coda, and me. Maybe we could split the task between us three. Asterion flinches. I would very much prefer not to be sent to the valley, Master. Besides, I had a conversation with Luke. I know he is upset with Kota, but maybe he can help with the other task. I know he has his issues, but after last night, he might be willing to help. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe we should all meet at the lobby then. As you command, Master. I will go look for them right away. Half an hour later. Big Coda. This is preposterous. The nerve! I will happily leave my post at the restaurant to help you, Master Dirk. But I expect respect in return. So far, 15 minutes of my time have been wasted by this oaf. Kota, I know you're both upset at each other, but can we please keep it civil? This is important. All I am saying is, let's get it started right away. Just you, Asterion, and I. I cannot fathom any task that cannot be performed without. Oh. Good morning, Mr. Asterion. Good morning, Mr. Walker. Yeah, shut your trap. Don't act like I didn't just hear you talking shit. Howdy, Dirk. Sorry for the delay. Asterion took his sweet time finding me. I wasn't exactly in my room, let's just say. So, what's this about? Well, we have a situation on our hands. As you're both aware, we're doing everything possible to establish an internet connection in the hotel. Dang, that's some good news there. Haven't talked to my mom in a hot minute. It is, but we seem to have stumbled into another problem that needs our attention. And it looks like we're understaffed. Which is why we called you, Luke. The Master will be going to the valley below the hotel today, and could use some assistance with it. And we will also need to work on establishing the internet connection. There's 3 of us. I think we can be split into 2 teams. One will work on the research and development, and the other will go explore the valley.
Well, count on me, Dirk. Sure. As long as he's far away from me. Well, I'll be. For once, we can agree on something.
Sure, I think we can manage. I was like, which explanation tutorial? Watch explanation tutorial or exploration tutorial? Why the hell not? Everybody bring out the popcorn and Skittles. I have an addiction. This is terrible. I just don't want to sound like I'm chewing. I am chewing, but I don't want to keep masticating on stream because it can get a bit annoying for some people, myself included. Anyway, let's watch. Exploring the labyrinth works in a similar way to R&D projects. Your guests now have 4 additional stats: artifacts, memos, surveying, and danger. The artifact stat affects your likeliness to encounter items that may boost your stats. Mementos will work towards finding old items that may reveal some insight on Asterion's past. Surveying acts differently. Surveying will yield random rewards. The higher the stat is, the more you may find. Surveying may also contribute towards artifact and memento rewards. Artifact and memento surveying are also cumulative. If you don't find an item on one run, your unspent points will be available next session. One last thing. Keep an eye on your danger stat! If danger is the highest total stat in your exploration team, there's a chance the labyrinth's forces will attack your guests. What? This may leave your guests unavailable for a couple of days. If this happens, you won't be able to assign them to a team, so it's not worth the risk. Remember, you can split your guests any way you want between the teams. Okay, that sounds good to me. Let me scoot in and make a very informed decision I will not regret. Oh boy. R&D team. Tech 4, Contract 4. Let's see what happens when we remove. Oh, close. Oh, let's see what happens if we assign Luke to explore. Danger, too. He is quite the danger. I want to see maybe Coda and Asterion. Okay, Memento. He's got 2 tech. Coda's also got 2 tech. But... oh goodness, Asterion's a lot of danger. I am the danger! It's good with mementos, but I don't know if we're gonna need too much of that for now. We should try Coda and... Are y'all cool with me doing Coda... Not Coda and Luke, sorry. Wait a minute. It will be Luke on the exploration, I think. Or, hold on. Interesting. 0 tech versus 2 tech. And it's tough because we don't want them together on the R&D team. We're gonna move... We're gonna... Not Asterion. Interesting. So, Tech 1, Contract 2. Let's move Luke to exploration. Warning, bad BDSM route if you send asteroid to the valley. Oh no, that would sound really odd and kinky. We're not going to do that here on this wholesome channel. So I could see Luke having good surveying. I'm not too worried about Asterion's past, and yeah, the only difference is contract, and Coda has a higher contract. Can somebody remind me what contract does again? Like, other than just, like, skill. Don't touch the bull. Got it. Let's see what happens if we switch Coda and Luke. Okay, so we have one less contract, but we do have 4 tech still. Oh, creates contracts that change the rules of the hotel. Yeah, Coda has no surveying skills. We're gonna switch back. Luke, you're going to the exploration team. Okay, I think this is our best scenario, right? Are y'all cool with this? Y'all ready for me to kick butt? Feels like a chess game. It's kind of fun. I like it. That's one of the things I really like about Minotaur Hotel. Gives some room for, like, creative, like, you know, creative options and combinations and stuff. It's not just, oh, you're just choosing route A, B, or C. It's like, you could do a bunch of combinations within it and different facets based on what you've aligned within that. So, yeah, this is going to be cool. With the 4 of you assigned to your roles, you bid Asterion and Kota farewell as Luke and you head towards the staircase leading to the valley. To the shadow of death. We're gonna get some Luke bonding time here. Alright, this is where we're gonna take a quick break actually, so... At 1:02:40. 1:02:45, why not? So, at this point, I'm just gonna kind of snack a little bit and just get myself a little bit refilled and give y'all a little break. So let's go to the "we'll be right back" window. I may check back in, like, from time to time, but for now, I'm just gonna quickly run, get stuff, and get the mic. Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry for the longer break than expected. Just went downstairs, chatted for a bit with my brother because he's leaving soon, and got myself a snack. But also, yeah, I want to... frick. I almost dropped my flossing stick. No, thank you all for being here, and yeah, that's really nice to hear from you, Jason. Are your days going well? Because of me streaming. Aww. Hola from Final State. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have anything like in my teeth while I read, because I'm live! Wouldn't that be embarrassing? I think I'm pretty good, actually. Just gonna get a few M&Ms before we... Dang it, these are Skittles! I'm so stupid! Oh, goodness. Gonna get a few more Skittles before we start. Okay, Emerald, you need a good sleep. Just because I'm streaming doesn't mean you need to prioritize my stream over your sleeping. Anyway, I'm back. Hopefully my lips aren't too colored or tongue or whatever from the Skittles. We will start in 20 seconds. Just making sure the timing all aligns. Here you go, 5 seconds. Gotta get a sip of water first. Let's continue. The valley is laid bare ahead of you in all of its curves. Rivers and rocks start up, snake, across the landscape. Oh, rock strata. I was like, why did it say start? Rivers and rock strata snake across the landscape, guiding your vision to the orange and blue horizon. The air is somehow both chilly and humid. It blows against your chest and crawls around to your spine, making your hair stand up and your cheeks flush. The days spent inside the hotel have you left used to its sterile, stagnant odors. This land defies that entirely. The scent very alive. Or the very scent is alive, sorry. A thick cloud of petrichor wafts up, as if a light drizzle had just fallen over the valley, along with the scent of herbs and shallow vegetation. You can't help but shiver as you take the final step towards the sun and out onto this god's-forsaken land. Luke and you follow the snake's instructions and set out to the cast. The east. I cannot read. For a while, conversation flows between the two of you. However, the hike ahead of you is long and arduous, and the sweltering sun refuses to yield. One can't keep talking for long under these circumstances. You settle into a rhythm, and you fall into a trance. Leave a place unattended for too long, and something thicker than silence takes root. It burrows itself and leaves only its eyes out, peeking from the sand. It spreads its roots, grows branches, blooms its flowers, and waits until a wandering soul passes by close enough to graze at its spine. It lowers its branches to grip you and pull you back to your place of belonging. They prickle the back of one's skull and raise the hairs of the nape of one's neck. It wants you gone. These creatures do not welcome the living. Something as shy as one's breathing is enough to tense their branches, contracting them into gnarled talons. But trudge on. Once a place is taken over by these cobwebs, it is bound to take a while to banish them all. Claim the land, crush the pebbles under the might of your stampede. With your stomping gait, break them open to reveal the jagged flesh within. Leap on top of the precarious stones, feel them shifting and rebalancing under your weight. As they threaten to topple, jump off to the next. Land soft-footed, and may your heel land without a peep from the rock. Taste your own swaying step as you climb a soft sanded dune. Have no shame when it grows steep, but trudge on like a beast and slash your claws into the sand's tender chest. Rest your hand out as if it were a pagan ritual, and as if instead of stray sand, an enemy's lifeblood sprayed out. When your breath quickens and sweat drips from your brow, glance at the horizon and hear its cries against your might. Let rage simmer at the top of your throat, but swallow it and trudge on, champion. Know well, this is your valley, a cursed land, bequeathed by the gods to humans to do with as they please. Its pebbles threaten to trip you, but are cleaved instead by your march. Its precarious stones shift back and forth to topple you, but are left turned and exposed. The vegetation reaches out to pull you back by the ankles and shoulders, but your will is sovereign. In your wake, all that is left are broken twigs and dried leaves. Have no mercy for this barren soil. Crush it under your heel. You are the realm's master, so let it fear your might. Spooky. Just as the sun reaches its apex, half a dozen structures crop up over the horizon. There is a human regularity to their placement. By then, your clothes are drenched, and your face is caked with a layer of sweat, oil, and dirt. But no hunger gnaws away at you. nor do your eyes grow weary. In fact, the idea of reaching your goal and stopping makes you restless. As you approach, it becomes clear which is the one most decayed of them all. Some of its ceiling has collapsed, letting in a beam of sunlight. While Luke investigates the place, you search for the offering Argos described. You open the door of the cracked kiln. Light pours in, and a rancid smell creeps out. It clings to your nostrils and a tongue, a metallic, rank scent. It claws its way into your chest and flares the fire burning in you. The contents of your stomach boil up into your throat, and you cringe while trying to keep yourself together. The searing stench is unrelenting. It thrashes inside of you, trying to grasp your heart, until a groan brings you back to reality. Inside there is a pit, more than 6 feet deep, dug out a long time after the kiln's original construction. Something shifts inside the kiln. A dark shape whose every movement is accompanied by the rumble of rock groaning against itself. There's a head with eyes aimed at you and swinging from left to right like someone trapped in a convulsion. The whole thing shudders as it comes back to life and throws an arm in your direction, but shrieks against the light coming from behind you. You jerk back in fright and, in doing so, swing the door open further. The thing recoils, shrieks again, and falls down into ruined weeping as its shape is revealed. It's pitch black and made out of stone, but its form is human. In fact, it has the bountiful curves and long, flowing hair of a woman. But below the waist, there is nothing. Her legs have been smashed away, and only dark clumps of jagged rock remain. The thing switches back and forth between recoiling from the light and throwing its arms in your direction. But even if it's lunged at you, it would fail. The pit is too deep for the stone woman to reach you in her legless state. What the hell is that thing? It is only then that you look downwards, to a little bundle of leaves waiting for you a few inches away from the door. It fits Argos' description. This must be what he wants you to sacrifice. You obtained a bundle! Yay! You take the bundle and close the door behind you.
Holy shit, partner! Be careful next time! Or be more careful, at least. Holy fuck.
Yes, that was scary. I think my curiosity got the best of me. But I got the bundle, I suppose.
Listen, Dirk. I think it would be best if I handled this, just in case more critters jump at you and you ain't so lucky. May not look like it, but your old pal Luke's been through some shit. Tougher shit than this.
You sure?
Sure, I've got this. You should get your ass back to the hotel.
You let Luke explore the rest of the kilns and get ready for the long walk back to the hotel. Oh, right. Before I forget, Luke, Argo said something about looking behind the kilns. You might want to check that out.
Will do, pal.
The expedition took you long enough, And if you don't want to be out here at nightfall, you need to return soon. You pack up and set out for home. Your first stop when arriving at the hotel is the lounge. Since you spent the last week in a place where food and drink are always at your disposal, you haven't felt this thirsty in a very long while. Your next stop is the master's quarters. You take a long shower to wash away all the grime and tension, and then sit on the couch to rest and reflect on the day. The bundle is sitting on the dinner table. Every once in a while, your thoughts drift back to it, and how little time you have left to sacrifice it. You can only hope that Luke discovered something that might help. After a while, you decide to go check on your team's progress. Let's check in on the R&D team. Oh, it looks like you completed a project. Oh, this is great. Greta! Dirk, it's wonderful. Everything is having a blast. Everyone's having a blast. Oh, dear God. It's Greta, destroyer of world. Oh, hey, Greta. What's going on? Is the internet working?
Internet? What internet? Oh, yes, the internet. Sylvie. How could I forget? It is working. We did it. But that's not even the best thing. This whole experience here has gotten me so many amazing ideas. Such incredible visions for research. I brought a document outlining a few of them and showed it to everyone. They are all so blown away by it. They can't even think more than one idea or two before needing a break. Oh, it's beautiful, Dirk. Everyone back at the engineering department will be so jealous.
That's great, Greta. I'm happy to hear that. I'm sure everyone will love your ideas. So, I take it everything is set up and well?
Yes, absolutely. More or less. We got the Wi-Fi to work, but there's a whole mess about getting an internet service provider land. We might be using the internet service provider from the Uruguayans work for. Okay? So things are very makeshift on that end, you see. The broadband is very limited. But it works. Everything is in order. What if something goes wrong? Though I'm afraid I have no idea how to fix it.
Is she shaking? Is Greta shaking? Or am I just seeing things? Okay, I'm just seeing things.
I'm not a networks engineer. Give me a break, okay? You might want to send the Sentinel an email every once in a while, and we'll have to pay the bills too. But I'm sure that will be easy for you. What a magical Telenor. Give me 1 minute. We're doing a stress test here. Be right back with you. Whee!
You approach Asterion and Kota.
Isn't this exciting news, Mr. Dirk? I do not use my phone a lot, but being able to look up recipes to cater to guests over the world is definitely a boon to any restaurant.
We did it, Master.
Well, I didn't do much other than explain how to write contracts and make sure everything was in order. The others did the heavy lifting. Oh, but I'm happy to have been able to help. Greta has been the most helpful explaining these concepts to me throughout these sessions. I feel like I caught up with some of the advancements I missed these last decades. I still feel like I will need your help with learning the ropes, Master.
but I feel more confident in my ability to do so. Asterion's tech went up by 1! Heck yeah! This is incredible news! Should I try logging in? What's the password?
Why, yes. You shouldn't have a problem finding the network, since it's the only one called the Minotaur Hotel. As for the password, well, I hope I'm saying this right. Networks Deutschsatz.
What the hell did I just say? Netzwerk Durchsetzungsgesetz. My brain is broken. Excuse me? What? Kota sighs and hands you a slip of paper. It's written in bright purple ink, what you assume to be Greta's handwriting. Password. Netzwerk Durchsetzungsgesetz. Okay, we're going to have to change that.
Yes, it would be very prudent to do so. She was nice enough to leave instructions on how to do it.
So, Minotaur Hotel. Okay, that's memorable and to the point, I suppose. You log in, and for the first time in a long while, your Wi-Fi icon lights up. Sweet. You managed to establish internet access to the hotel. Yeah! You can see your completed tech projects under the Tech tab in the Files screen of the pause menu. Is under Ledger, technically? No, it's gonna be like under Preferences? Files, Texts. We got internet access! You're currently using a rather slow Uruguayan ISP and will have to pay them a fee. That should not be an issue. I can't believe it. You got a bunch of different contracts. This is cool. Teams. Files. We got our tech up to 5. We are the masters of tech. Network something act in German. Good one. The excitement in the room is palpable, but you have other responsibilities to attend to. You congratulate the team on the job well done, and go to check on the exploration team. Let's go check in on the exploration team. Your team got really lucky and found 6 raw minerals. Twice what you expected. Holy crap. Other than that, your exploration team didn't really make any big discoveries. By the way, did you get a chance to look behind the kiln?
Oh yeah, I was half expecting another one of those things to come jumping at me. But I did find something there.
Luke hands you a clay tablet. It's the 10 Commandments! You obtained a clay tablet narrating an intervention from a concerned youth. You can read it by opening the files in the menu. I need to read this. Mementos. 4th tablet, young woman. And what are the artifacts? We don't know yet. I don't know what that is. Anyway, a clay tablet narrating an intervention from a concerned youth. The tablet reads: When summer arrived and King Minos had not yet granted us his blessing, a young woman sneaked her way onto our tent and told me of the labyrinth. At the foot of a mountain, the very same where Zeus spent his youth, where we would find a fearsome hybrid, a fiend born from the queen's affair with the beast. During my saffron harvesting afternoons, the wives told me of such a beast, once known as a deity of prosperity paraded by King Minos, locked away to the labyrinth's confines after taken to cannibalism. He, the young woman said, guards the labyrinths of Crete, gift of Zeus to his birthplace, in the very center of the labyrinth. Seek the cursed fiend of the wolf's world's heart, In the crimson shrine he keeps the thread-cutting axe. But know, bastard of Troy, that only those inspired by the divine may raise it. Pray for Athena's blessing. Touch it or not, it is coated with Zeus's ichor. 'Tis not a man's lot to grasp divine matter. I departed with my father that same night. From the distance I glimpsed Zeus's mountain. It grew closer with each passing day, much like my father's suffering came to a close. Oh, that's sad. After checking on your teams, you head to the lounge for dinner. Oh, there he is, good old Coda. Cooking and doing all the good bar stuff. Tonight's dinner isn't noteworthy. After all, Coda just spent the day with other tasks, but everyone seems to be enjoying the night. The guests that worked on the internet project surround Asterion. They all seem to have grown quite familiar with each other over the whole ordeal. He smiles and laughs with their jokes, and even plays along with them most of the time. But more often than not, his gaze drifts away just as his ears droop. Oh. Midway through the meal, Asterion excuses himself and bids everyone a good night. Just before leaving, he looks at you and nods. After finishing your meal and enjoying some of the time with the guests, you get up to return to your quarters. However, as you walk towards the stairs, something catches your ears. Just further ahead, coming from outside the hotel, there's a plucking of strings. No melody ties these idle notes together, and each one hangs in the air until it silences itself. There are 18 tablets. If you collect them all throughout multiple playthroughs, they narrate how Asterion died. The more you know. There's a sharp-edged twinge preceding each note, as if whoever played it had forced the string and let it out in agony. You follow the sound and open the door. This is the sound of opening a door. Me closing a Skittles bag. I open the door. There he is! Aww. The Minotaur's ears flick to catch your footsteps, and the doors groan. But his stare remains aimed at the stars. Subscriber. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Mouse 70,000. You are part of the Dork Squad. Yeah! But anyway, the Minotaur's ears flick to catch your footsteps, and the doors groan. But his stare remains aimed at the stars. His middle finger flips off at Luke. Oh, what? I just flipped off the camera. Instant demonetization. No! His middle finger caresses a string, then pulls it as it rolls on the skin. The Minotaur lets it hook on his nail and keeps pulling, forcing the string out as his hand hardens and contracts into a claw. He plucks the lyre's string with the same sharpness and cringes as he lets it go. A grunt escapes his throat, and his tail thrashes. He lays a hand over the strings, ceasing the dying hum, and lets his head hang. Good evening, my lord. Good evening, Asterion. Enjoying some fresh air? Yes. I needed to do some thanking and rehearsing. Oh, is something the matter? The Minotaur hunches over his lyre, readjusting his hands upon it, trying to find a position that doesn't feel so awkward. His forearm twitches as he sucks air until his back expands, and then lets it out through his mouth. I suppose it all became too much today. So many things have been happening all at once. Good things, but it's so much. It all bounced around in my head. All the people, all the tasks,
the Valley expedition too. So I came here to thank.
Oh, if you want, I can go back to and let you have your privacy. Sorry to interrupt.
No. If you have a minute to spare, I would like to bring a matter to your attention.
Sure. Go on.
It's just... You don't have to do this.
What do you mean?
You don't have to. You shouldn't help me. Going out of the valley yourself, dedicating your time and getting in harm's way for me. I will heal on my own, given enough time.
Are you saying this because the expedition might interfere with the internet? You don't have to worry about that. Now that we are split into teams, it's manageable.
That's not it. He fingers the lyre's strings, letting out an aimless hum of notes. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed after this is all done.
The Minotaur looks down and brings his legs together to support the weight of the lyre, and then raises both his hands to scratch and claw at the back of his skull. The fur at the back of his neck stands up as he keeps scratching, digging in with such a ferocity you would not be surprised to see tufts of hair coming out. All the while, he mumbles and grunts under his breath, searching for words that will not come. I'm afraid I don't get what you mean.
Sometimes it just becomes too much for me. Even if I enjoy the company, all the life, I can't stop myself from wishing everything would stop.
Well, you were locked away for a long time. It's no wonder it becomes overwhelming for you. After all those years in a silent, dark room.
It was still like that before that happened. My stomach twists and turns, fires crawl back up to my throat, and this dull nausea makes me hunch over. It feels like the whole world is about to fall apart at any moment. I just want it to stop.
He hugs his lyre. When he tries talking again, the words get stuck in his throat. He hunches over to spit them out. But all that comes out is another groan. You don't seem too well. You might be having an anxiety attack. Or perhaps you are panicking. I know you have been through a lot, and I can't see my words doing much to reassure you. I mean, how much do words mean? But I'll say it anyway. I'll do everything in my power to make the hotel fulfill its mission. Nothing bad will happen to you. The Minotaur's back straightens, and his tail jerks along with his ears. He looks again to the stars, holding his instrument, just as a breeze passes by to send chills up your spine. Asterion snorts, shakes himself, and for a moment, it would seem as if a reinvigorated spirit is taking over. His voice, however, tells another story. When he speaks again, it comes out dulled, sluggish, with each syllable deliberately enunciated. This lyre, my lord, it does not look old, does it? Its strings will always give out such lively notes, so easy to weave into a delightful tune. One by one, all of Asterion's anxious quirks, the hair standing up on the back of his neck, his hooves scraping against the ground, the fingers flicking over the strings. They all silence themselves. In its place is another being which, albeit pacified, seems despondent in a whole new, cold, controlled way. And yet, this lies older than any country back in the world of the living. I've played with it ever since I was a kid. When my father sent me to the labyrinth, I didn't get too much with... When my father sent me to the labyrinth, I didn't get to take much with me. He thought it would be distracting, but God sneaked it in for me. It is so odd to me. For over a century I tried learning how to use cutlery, and as you could see, I never succeeded. But it wasn't so when I was a child. I could learn anything back then. How to carve wood, shoot arrows, play this old, friendly lyre. It helps me think. It drowns out everything else. Even if just tuning it feels like it puts everything else in order. My old friend. Would you like to take a seat with me tonight? As turbulent as my mind may be, a little audience would be. I would enjoy a company. Aw, this is so sweet. Oh, chapter 12. The concert. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Let's just stop there. Alright, chapter 12 begins at 147.50? 145. Ah, sorry. Alrighty then. I don't know if I'm gonna keep going with chapter 12. We are like an hour and 45 in. And I don't want to take much longer tonight, at least. Because I'm planning on actually doing some game streaming, maybe. Like, streaming of me working on my VN. And just kind of going from there. Speaking of which, shoot, I got some other things I might try and do tonight, too. But, yeah. Tonight's gonna kind of just be a bit more up in the air after this, and I'm trying to keep my streams kind of within the 2-hour ballpark. It's maybe a bit on the short end, but yeah, apologies for that. Okay, I think my brother's coming back up. I'm not sure if he's gonna leave my dog with me. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can do chapter 12. Okay, so I think chapter 12 is the last, like, chapter. Because there's, like, sometimes you get chapters like Hades or whatever else. Just sometimes I gotta double check that. Okay, so we will keep going. I don't know why I said chapter 12's begin. Chapter 12's. I don't know why I said chapter 12 begins and then put on this false facade of, oh, I'm ending the stream now. Technically, I did not start it until... I'm just gonna say 148, why not? I'm gonna call it Tiny Break. And we got 20 seconds before we actually start, so... Yeah, what do y'all think of Chapter 11? Alright, we got 5 seconds and then I'm gonna start. Love it. Anyway, now we begin chapter 12. When you wake up the next morning, you feel the burn before you even get up. Your legs haven't felt this sore in a while. My leg! You stretch your whole body, and that same soreness extends up to your back. Oh my god, leg! But it's satisfying in its own way. Yesterday's expedition to the valley was a long hike. Quite the welcome change of pace from all these days inside the hotel. Plus, you got a lot done in one day. When you look at the clock, you find it's already quite a bit later than your usual walking time. Or waking time. But after everything, you have earned a late start to the day. Oh. Breakfast must be quick to account for it. However, while Asterion makes scrambled eggs, you go back. I need to reread that whole line. That was terrible. Jeez. Breakfast must be quick to account for it, however. While Asterion makes scrambled eggs, you go behind his back and prepare toast. Ah, betrayal. When he puts the plate on the table and motions to prepare something else, you surprise him by making a sandwich with the toast and eggs. Oh, is that not a tad humble for the Ram's Lord? Maybe, but it's already late. What do you say we sit together and share a sandwich while we plan the day? Oh, I'd rather not repeat the other day's disaster, if you wouldn't mind. Well, wasn't cutlery the issue? And we are eating sandwiches today, after all. I suppose there's no arguing against that. Before I sit down, is my clothing appropriate for this day? I think for the concert, I think you look just fine. You look wonderful. Asterion inspects his clothing and general appearance while you eat. Oh, Dirk gave him the modern shirt before giving him the wine. You'll see why. But will this, like, not let him play at the concert or whatever? Is it, like, do I have to choose one or the other? I mean, fur color's always solid. I definitely like the light on him. Started to grow used to it. 40s outfit? No, thank you. How about modern shirt? Okay, I'm just gonna still just wait for the response on that, but everything else seems fine. Armwear is cool, fur color's cool, lower clothes are cool. None, just like make him go camo. Just do it! Oh my goodness. Confirm selection, fine! Jeez, you people are so pushy. Asterion inspects his clothing and general appearance while you eat. Thank you for your selection. Today might be an important day after all. If we get the bottle? If we get the bottle, yes. I must remind you that I can still heal without it. Our priority should be getting the internet up and running so as to not upset the guests. Based on how you describe it, and how much I hear about it in the lounge, it seems to be essential to you all now. It would be a tragedy if we were to lose guests over this issue. It's annoying to live without it, sure. But I'd say we're doing a good job managing the hotel otherwise. We're facing a lot of challenges and doing our best. That speaks for itself. I doubt people would stop coming here over a lack of internet. Besides, we could still, I hope, get both done by tonight. You take a bite out of your egg sandwich. You sound optimistic, Master. We'll see. I hope Luke and Kota are more cooperative today. You finish your breakfast in silence together, without any catastrophic cutlery situation. The stairs! After cleaning the table of any breadcrumbs, you and Asterion walk towards the staircase together before splitting up. You head to the reception while Asterion summons the others. Kota puts down the last dish of the batch and turns to the clock on the wall. 5 to 8. Very few guests have shown up for an early breakfast today. The only people so far were the South American workers. Kota had grown fond of their company these past days, and they in turn enjoyed his gravelly voice. And the jokes, smiles, and extended explanations he brought with each dish. Perhaps they were not used to being treated so well. Get you a man who can do it all, like Kota. And of course, they loved his cooking, even if it was so distant from what their wives cooked back home. So there was a certain disappointment in the air when, this morning, Kota didn't serve his usual steamed rice, grilled trout, and kibachi. Instead, the dragon had cooked quite the unusual special for the day. Still, Kota's cooking left nothing to be desired, and they were chowed down nonetheless. The happy customer always cheered Kota up, but as the clock kept ticking, he began to wonder if the effort was worth it.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Walker. Morning? Huh.
Luke drags a stool back, and then takes it and slams it on Kota WWE style! Luke drags a stool back, plops himself on the other side of the bar, and rests his hands on the counter. Luke looks off to the side, to the other guests chatting around. He swings his feet while twiddling his thumbs. Kota, meanwhile, looks down to wash some cups. He waits for it, for the inevitable tasteless joke from the Griffin. He doesn't even look up, so sure is he that it's coming. But it never arrives. He gives Luke a glance, 2, 3, until they're staring at each other in acknowledgement. Kota pulls out a tray and places it in front of the Griffin, and flips it in his face and then slams him to the ground! No, damn. Wouldn't that be good?
You showed up on time.
Luke looks down at his dish. Pancakes, fried eggs, bacon, and freshly squeezed orange juice.
How American. Yep, and you weren't talking shit about me when I got here. So I guess we both deserve a hooray. You gave me more than enough reasons to do it.
Luke grabs a strip of bacon off his plate with his hands, dips it in the egg yolk, and opens his beak wide to swallow it all. Perhaps such a display would have brought dismay to Kota just a week before, but this time he finds himself unfazed by it.
No, I didn't. I know I can be difficult to deal with, but that doesn't mean you should badmouth someone when he doesn't have a chance to defend himself. It ain't a gentlemanly thing to do. But you do have a point. I came on to you, made you uncomfortable, then escalated the situation. It was a shitty thing to do. I apologize. You are forgiven.
Aww.
And I admit I have misjudged you, and in fact, your eagerness to help Mr. Asterion and Mr. Dirk have revealed a few qualities I must respect. You could have stood by and done nothing, but you offered your help for a risky, difficult task. That, I suppose, says more about your character than our petty squabble ever could.
Luke smiles, cuts off a big chunk of pancake, and then folds it in half and slips the entire massive piece down his gullet. Oh, Luke.
Even if, and I must be honest in this regard, your manners have leaving a lot to be desired.
Luke gulps and clears his throat while wiping his hand with a napkin. He cuts a smaller chunk this time, one of which might still make a human choke, and brings it to his mouth.
I'm sorry. It's just that this is really fun. I mean, it's delicious.
Luke takes a sip of his orange juice.
You are right, though. We got a bigger hole in the fence here, and I'm not talking about my... And we'd be of more use to this joint if we didn't act like petty assholes to each other. Bro hug!
Luke stretches his right hand to Coda. The dragon hesitates. The griffin's scaly digits are covered in a film of egg yolk and bacon grease, fanning the embers of enmity back into flame. Ugh. The blue dragon takes Luke's hand, despite himself. He remembers as the palm meets the American's with an audible squelch that he can wash afterwards, swallowing his pride as readily as Luke swallows the remains of his breakfast. Ah, they're getting along, this is great. Peace restored! Understanding replaces unease. Before long, they both look back to their first meeting and laugh. Oh, they're gonna be buddies. Who the heck is that? Who the heck just appeared behind us? An intruder! The two spend the following half hour without saying a word to each other, but not minding the company. They enjoy breakfast, get busy with basic chores, and greet each other's guests as the lounge fills up. The other guests whisper, carelessly. What a far cry from this is from the bickering of the previous days. There he is, our handsome man. When Asterion walks into the lounge, he, like the other guests, cannot contain his surprise at seeing the two getting along.
Luke, Kota, your presence is required in the reception. Sure, partner. Let's do this. Indeed.
This is gonna be fun. I keep looking up at my TV screen as if that's the camera, but the camera's down here. You lean on the reception desk. Oh wait, that's the chair. You lean on the reception desk. You think back to how empty this place used to be, and how busy it is now. Today is going to be another stressful day, but one can hope by the end it will all have been worth it. You don't have much time to reflect, however, since Asterion returns from the lounge much faster than you expected. To your surprise, Luke and Kota walk in behind him, still distant from each other, but not bickering. Well, it seems like everyone's here. So today is our last chance to get the bottle. We're going to need to sacrifice the bundle we found yesterday somewhere in the valley. How much progress did we make, Asterion?
Well, there's 3 spots that would need to be surveyed, and 3 artifacts necessary. So far, we have 3 and 1, respectively.
Okay, so we need more artifacts today. Maybe we're gonna swap Kota and Luke. I'm like, what the hell are their names? Thankfully, the internet issue is solved. But we can still put people in the R&D team to work on the other stuff if you don't want to go to explore the valley, or... I guess you two will want to stay separate.
Nah, don't worry about that. We'll do what is necessary to help, yes.
Well, that's good news. Thanks, you two. So, that's the state of affairs. And what the fuck?
Ah, Murdy. Murdy.
I'm sorry. What the fuck? Wait, I was about to say it. Luke, what the fuck? Sorry. I thought no one was going to be here for a while. Oh, Ishmael. Ishmael awkwardly runs away towards the lounge, arms behind his back. Fucking weeb. So, anyway. You hear a banging noise coming from the lounge, followed by the sound of a breaking glass and shrill spree of cursing. If the breaking glass wasn't a thing, I would just imagine a banging noise and being like, "Here's Greta!" As he chases after Ishmael. Oh, goodness. It's just Ishmael tripping, you assume? Back at the lounge, there is a hearth, which is besides a few couches and raised from a general floor, or is raised from the ground floor by a step. Quite a few people have tripped on that step. You've had several complaints about it. You tried using the hotel's magic to relocate it somewhere with less traffic, but it seems to remain stuck where it is. Maybe there's a contract in the way that makes its position in the hotel a fixed point in space. You'll have to discuss it with Asterion at some point. That's when it hits you. You had pushed Argos to say something, give you idea that perhaps he shouldn't have. What is this?
With that said, any one of the...
Yeah, I'm about to sound German with him.
With that said, any one of the god-made shrines will do. And I really do mean it.
You look to the lounge. As the fire burning in the hearth, perhaps a solution to your problem has been staring at you right in the face. And you didn't realize it. Bonk, you moron. In fact, you think back to what Asterion mentioned 2 days ago, in regards to the basin and the bedrock of the labyrinth. Millennia ago, it was a shrine to the god Hermes, patron of trident messengers. There are other such locations in this realm dedicated to specific gods. Perhaps you don't need to go all the way to the valley to make a worthy sacrifice. Asterion, do we have something like a god-made shrine in the hotel?
I'm afraid I don't know what you are talking about, Master.
I mean, something like a shrine. Very shrine-like. That is shrine of a shrine. Sorry. I mean, something like a shrine, but created by the gods themselves. I suppose they must be very odd things, dating back to when this place was created. Does that give you any idea?
Yes, a few come to mind. The hearth near the lounge, as you know, is a shrine to the goddess Hestia. The bison in the bedrock is a shrine to Hermes. We have a shrine to Hades in one of the gardens as well. I used to keep it in good shape, although I hadn't gotten to it yet. But why do you ask?
When I pressed Argos for more information, he said he would accept a sacrifice at any god-made shrine. So yes, I don't think we need to make a big expedition to go sacrifice the bundle.
That is terrific news.
It is indeed.
Wait, does that mean I'm getting put on nerd duty? Fuck. Shit. I was looking forward to the hike, to be honest.
Nerd duty. Well, we can still send people out to the valley to find other useful stuff, I suppose. So, Asterion and I will stay and make the sacrifice then. Maybe I shouldn't risk any encounters like yesterday if that's not strictly necessary. So, I have 3 options then. Make a sacrifice to Hermes at the bedrock basin. Make a sacrifice to Hestia at the lounge hearth. Make a sacrifice to Hades at the garden statue. I don't know why I'm reading it like that, but I'll say the was it Hades or Hermes was the one that was mentioned first? I think it was Hermes. Yeah, it was Hermes. Which one do we choose? So many tough choices! Like, we definitely know Hades is a god. Hey, Dirk, multitasking today with dog walking and listening to you. Oh, thanks. Great to hear. Have fun. Yeah, Jason says, I have no clue which one. You and me both. I guess it's just a guess from here. They're all gods. Okay. Why the heck not? Let's just go with Hermes. So, Asterion, all I have to do is go to the bedrock and burn the bundle next to the basin in the middle of the room? More or less, yes. That's what I will do. As for the rest, Hermes will make the internet better. Oh, I forgot. Is that like the bedrock thing, like the whatever where we did the internet stuff? Great! Didn't know that. Thank you to Final State. Oh, Hermes is like God of Speed? Or, not, Final State didn't mention it. It was Mental Atheist, but Final State commented on it. So thank you, Mental Atheist, and good comment, Final State. Yeah, State. Sometimes it's hard to see on my screen. But that's what I will do. As for the rest, you're all on nerd duty! Nerds! Oh, Asterion's unavailable. No wonder. Close. Do we need anybody on the R&D team, technically? Super chat. Oh, thank you for the $1, Perpy. Is that the American Eagle in Persona form? Closest thing to it. I love nerds. The two kinds. I see what you did there. Clever, Akira. What would happen if I moved you to explore? We have 2 tech, but no contract. Oh, he's American Greek. Yeah, I forgot about that. But, what do I do? Do I put them both together? Maybe they'll become buddies this way? But that's too dangerous. Remember not to send... Well, I can't send Asterion to do anything. No, I'm just gonna put him on the nerd team. Nah, I kid. But... yeah, how much danger? Luke is 2 danger, but Coda is no danger. And he adds to the memento. God of Messages sounds cool. Buddy with benefits, oh, goodness. Are y'all cool if I do this? Do you all approve of my bold choices? No R&D members, everybody exploration. We are investing hardcore into exploration because the internet has been done. Last chance, don't make me regret this, chat. I'm gonna hit this button, I swear. I swear. I swear, I'm just gonna do it. I don't know. Why must you not be helpful? Anyway, it's your playthrough to whatever. I can't make decisions for myself. Anyway. Alright. Is everyone's role clear here? Very well. Let's get to it then. You wish Luke and Coda good luck as they walk off towards the valley. You hold the bundle in your hands with a wide smile. Well, want to go get rid of this thing, Asterion? It would be a great pleasure, Dirk. The Minotaur goes to the Master's quarters to collect something. Minutes later, he returns with his lyre. He looks at it, then to you for a second, and then hums to summon a door to the bedrock. You must close your eyes. I can't read. You must close your eyes and allow yourself to be guided by Asterion. And so, the two of you make your way to the basin. My dog be barking. Asterion takes the utmost care to keep you from so much as grazing yourself on the purple rocks. The Minotaur does not want you to remain there for long. He begins the ritual as soon as possible by summoning and pouring wine into the basin. After cleaning his hand, he plays music. It's a mechanical affair, jumping from song to song without any pause to appreciate the moment. Hermes, Psychopompus, let our communication be clear and exchanges fair. Let our prayers be heard and our insults forgiven. Let our games be good-natured and our works rewarded. The Minotaur holds the strings with his fingers, gets up, and places the dark lump on the basin. Without hesitation, he lights a fire, and in seconds, it grows tall enough to almost touch the ceiling. Ah, everything's on fire now. You and Asterion return to the hotel the same way you came. Super chat. Thank you, Perpy, for the other $1. Or another $1 in this case. You and Asterion return to the hotel the same way you came, with your eyes closed and the Minotaur holding your hand. I'm gonna quickly... Oh, well, maybe this might be it, but you spend the rest of the day on your own, going through the usual routine. You spend some time manning reception, go to the lounge for lunch, and take an afternoon break in the master's quarters. Eventually, the time comes to check on both your teams. I'm gonna quickly check on my dog, speaking of which. This will just take a second. I just dropped my earbud. Good going. Alright, my dog is here. And he's probably gonna just chill there. Alright, so y'all ready to continue? Eventually, the time comes to check in on both your teams. Let's check in on the R&D team. Oh, looks like no one is here. Your R&D team didn't make any progress. Oh, I wonder why. Let's check in on the exploration team. Your team got really lucky and found 6 raw materials. Thank you, Perpy. But your team got really lucky and found 6 raw materials, twice of what you expected. Oh, it looks like you found something else. A red ship. You obtained a clay tablet revealing a bastard tempting a pious youth away from his duty. You can read it by opening the files in the menu. Oh, how fun. Anyway, the valley's shadows crawl up to the hotel's entrance. They extend from the hills and cliffs far ahead and from the shrubs and trees further down the slope. They mingle and mix together into a labyrinth of shadows, creeping and growing its way to your feet. If you could ride these tendrils of darkness, follow a branch's shade to that of the jutting rocks beside it, then hop to the great cliff's imposing shadow, you would find that they are all connected. Pet the dog first. Oh, you're fine, you don't need to go out. Not yet. I read this line already? Or no, did I? Yeah. The labyrinth is in the crawling shadows, in the snaking riverbeds, in the vast networks of cracked earth extending well into the horizon. And beneath it all there is a stirring. Stirring, I could not read that. All beneath it, and beneath it all there is a stirring. Something awakening, drawing you to your existence, the existence of its master. When you stop and plant your feet on the ground, it is easier to notice. A dull hum which comes and goes, grave and slow. Then, a crack. A dry branch breaks, followed by a gray mass shifting beneath the brush. Damn it. Argos reveals himself. You are a bit late.
I am sorry, my lord. You see, I was just doing my rounds, tending to my beautiful gardens. But I am here after all. It's getting late, so how about we waste no time and get right down to business? Well, I am afraid I did not see anyone going up to the plateau to make an offering. Tell me, my good lord, what happened? You have strength to spare, and there's a whole hotel brimming with people you could use for your guns. What made you fail such a simple task?
Well, I don't think I failed at all. You see, I was thinking back to our little conversation the other day. I recall you saying that any god-made shrine would do. Is that not correct?
That is correct. Any other shrine to do. Oh, but where could our fine lord be going with this?
I fulfilled the mission, of course. It just so happens that I made the offering to another shrine. One inside the hotel. There is a room which houses a basin, which Asterion told me is an old shrine to Hermes. We burned the offering inside it. So, I fulfilled my part of the bargain, Argos. An offering to one of the god-made shrines, just as you instructed. Now it's your turn. The snake slithers away while keeping his gaze locked on you. He scratches his head, first over to the skin he wears as a cloak, then with both hands together going under it. His tongue darts in and out of his mouth, culminating with him hunching over as if consumed by nausea. But when he looks to you again, he seems unfazed by what you just said. Or perhaps even cheerful. He lets out a whimper. You have to strain your hearing to catch it, but he sways left and right until he slips further into a tittering, like a harp string sweetly plucked. All at once, the strings snap, and a burst of Argos laughter spreads down like the sprawling valley and up the hotel's stairway. Did we fuck this up? He rides out waves, from a giggle leaking from his jaws to a back-bending, uproarious bellow, until he regains enough composure to muster a proper reaction. In the blink of an eye, he lunges at you, arms spread wide. You feel his tail coiling around you from behind just as he makes contact with you. You brace yourself to fight back for dear life, and indeed get as far as throwing your fist back in preparation to punch him in the face. But something feels off. He is not constricting you. Argos is giving you a hug.
By the 12, you'll be the best master this valley has ever seen. Who knows how many generations of human masters could cross the centuries? Rich and poor, stupid and smart, wretched and heroic.
Argos embraced tightens around you, forcing a lungful of air out of you. It would seem like he's trying to constrict you. If he wasn't burying his snout in your shirt like a puppy.
And to think that I, the entire Argos lineage, shall hold the honor of serving the greatest master yet. You are a snake, you are. As elegant and as treacherous as we come.
When he looks up to you, beaming with a smile, you can't stop yourself from noticing there's quite the strand of snot running down his snout, almost dripping down onto your shirt. Gross.
What a privilege to be born at such an age, to serve someone like you.
Okay, Argos, that's very sweet of you. You're a good boy. Now, can you let me go? He disengages and slurs back to a respectful distance.
I am? Well, of course I am. After all, there is no follower more loyal than I.
I don't know about that. Asterion got a pretty good head start. You'll have to step it up if you want to be number one.
Step it up? But I have neither legs nor feet. I can only slither. Can't you please make an exception for me?
I'm afraid I can't. Lower my standards is unacceptable. Let's be honest. If I'm not strict, how could I ever look you in the eyes and say anyone is number one?
I suppose you are right. Well then, I'll just have to show you how much better I am than Asterion.
You are welcome to try.
I bet he can't climb on trees and statues like I do. Not with his hooves. And with those lips of his, there's no way he can play a flute.
He brings the flute up to his mouth again, but you nudge the mouthpiece away and hold it stationary. He still toots it once. He can play a lyre, and he cooks really well.
Pah! Useless. Why care about something as trivial as cooking food, when you can just summon a hunk of raw meat and feast on it? Fire only removes the flavor.
I don't know. That sounds way too snake-like for my taste.
Oh, could it be my treacherous master does not share our taste for fresh meat? What a disappointment. Although, I suppose you are already perfect enough.
Dusk has fallen as your little meeting progressed. Now it's so dark you can't tell the snake's general shape apart from the darkness. He notices you're squinting at him.
It's getting late, and the dangers of the valley are no laughing matter. It would be rude and irresponsible for me to keep you here any longer. Here, as I promised, a bottle of the valley's healing wine, harvested in your honor, in exchange for a display of the master's piousness. It is with great honor and joy that I fulfill my side of the bargain.
With a bow too elaborate not to be rehearsed in his spare time, Argos delivers the wine bottle.
You obtained a wine bottle! Yeah!
Thank you. I am glad you are such an upstanding snake. Always upholding your promises.
That, I must have you know, is nothing less than my duty. I wouldn't be worth my own skin were I a careless liar. I look forward to our next encounter, good master. Rest assured that once more I'll attempt to trick you, expecting your wits to come out victorious, just like in the legends.
I just want to see how far we are. Alright, we are decent away. Just gotta make sure my dog doesn't wet his diaper. Anyway, you head back up, eager to bask again in the hotel's light. A smile is painted on your face, which only grows wider as you hear Argos's flute rising into a cheerful, distancing melody. And at this point, okay, one of my parents is heading home now. Ah, shoot. This is a weird time. Like, should I take him out? Shouldn't I? You're such a weird guy. You have an interesting dilemma. Okay, we're gonna actually pause at 2 hours and 29 minutes, so... Alright, we will be right back. Sorry to leave y'all hanging for a bit. Should be back in a few minutes if I did not mute myself immediately. Alright. Okay, testing. Alright, so, good news actually. My mom just came back and so she's taking the guy out, our little dog. Wine bottles, does that mean we're gonna be drunk? Maybe. Anyway, let's start at the start of the minute. So 2:32, so a good 3-minute break. I'm like thinking to myself, what am I doing? The reading should have resumed a few seconds ago, but... anyway, let's continue. There is something in Clement's eyes, a flickering spark. I caught sight of it years before he became the master. Oh, this is gonna be Astarion's perspective. Shoot. There is something in Clement's eyes, a flickering spark. I caught sight of it years before he became the master. I've seen it too often over the centuries, ever since Joseph first washed down the rivers in the valley. Such a human thing, that flame. It wants glory. It seeks to burn ever brighter, so that eyes shall lean upon its light. And to that end, it will play the role of a good Samaritan. It will dress itself in the fine fabrics of nobility, color its digits with polished rings and sparkled gemstones, walk with that broad-shouldered and wide-stepped gait. They, the masters of old, would extend a hand overflowing with wealth, all the richness for which they come at the hum of a song, and grin at how mighty the masses consider them to be. All eyes on their visage, all the guests and their souls in this land, all brimming with love and respect. That's what Clement wanted. And for that he paid the game, the same game Jean-Marie did. But there was a difference. Not all men are cut from the same cloth. Those flames burning in their chests, they could not be more different. Jean-Marie had a vision. He had seen pain. It had crawled up into his chest, carved a hollow in his heart, and curled up inside it. When he looked at the guests, lacking limbs and glassy-eyed from that old war, his face scrunched just as his heart skipped a beat. It never stopped stinging, not as long as he was here, and not until his heart stopped beating. I know it surely as I know myself. Clement wanted adoration. Jean-Marie had a vision. Were there no eyes in this world, the good master would have done it all the same, knowing well that falling in obscurity was no issue at all. Old friend, who is the master who now reigns over us? I wonder what flame lurks inside his chest. What is the catch? Why would a master, free from whatever shackles can bind a mortal, ever look down to us and consider us worthy of his effort? He knows now how to rain diamonds from the palm of his hand. Food and shelter, holy shit, food and shelter will never be an issue to him ever again. And company will be plentiful as the guests that flock to express their gratitude. Does he appreciate the arts? If so, his favorite artists may come and produce for him to his heart's content. The sciences? Bring him academics, teach him how to generate all the materials they desire, and whatever mysteries eat away at him will be broken to pieces. Money, the easiest of them all, but one can wonder what money is good for when the realm has no scarcity. Anything he can describe can be created by humming a song. What is this master? What man is he? Why does he look at me like that? Why did he work to get me the wine? What is the catch? Why does he look at me like that? Does he not see what I am? That he can do what he pleases with me, or ignore any existence altogether as he enjoys all the earthly pleasures this land affords him? Perhaps he hasn't realized yet. Surely he will. In due time. And then it will be like the previous masters. When they too understood that I could be thrown aside. 60 years slinking away in the shadows, pretending I don't exist, trying to not bother them, doing my best to make them all forget I exist. Whatever good there can be for one such as I, greater misfortune follows. It won't be long now before he realizes what I am. That I am a dumb beast. That I will not be good enough to entertain him for long. All I can ask for is that he lets me be. But why does he look at me like that? Why does he promise not to send me out to the valley? A promise which cannot be enforced, and yet kept nonetheless. Why did he, in front of the guests, call me his business partner? By the 12, to even give such credit to a slave. Why did he touch me? Why does he waste his time entertaining me? What is his goal by having a meal with me? The way he looks at me. By the gods, it feels like he is taking care of me more than I serve him. When he held my hand, there must be a catch. But the way he looks at me, am I at least allowed to? It's barely been over a week since you crossed the desert. Oh, it's barely been over a week since you crossed the desert, glimpsed the valley below, and opened all the doors inside this hotel. Since this night when you and Asterion sat before the hearth, so much has changed. The hotel stands restored. Its once silent hallways are now peppered with footsteps and voices of guests. And the Minotaur, that broken down figure in the back of the cold room. As sure as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, he too did change. Over the ages, masters came with who saw virtue in serving the gods. After all, what could be more rightful than reenacting those old rites? And yet, so did masters arrive who saw fit to discard those old trappings and delve deep into something humane. And all the more unholy for it. To release a prisoner from his rightful sentence, to corrupt a holy realm, to fulfill the whims of fickle humans, to spawn diamonds from one's hands, to house unclean and ill wretches, to divert this land's resources towards their own goals. What strange follies these humans do, such gods may think. Some Prometheus or another offers them fire, a fitting gift to burn such fatty hecatombs. And it is used instead to warm one another's feet. What will this new master, climbing up the grand staircase, do with his mandate? When he looks at the prisoner and reveals his true self, does he despise the judgment of humans beneath his fate? Or does he fear the gods, wherever they may be? Does he dream of standing up to the legacy of the old hero, Theseus, or will he content himself with being decent and no more special than his peers? Will his legs not tire stepping two at a time and making good of strange dealings? Will his steps be accompanied, 3 stairs to a step, by another? Whatever his choice may be, none may cast judgment, for the Lord holds all the power in this realm. And the gods themselves are nowhere to be seen. No checks and balances, no fear of reprisal. Just the stone-made footprints of contracts and curses. Perhaps these, too, can be bent. Except, perhaps, for that love watchman down below, the keeper of divine with, what sharp eyes he has. As for us, fret not, we shall not judge you. This is no trial. A man such as yourself holds no regrets in how you carry your affairs. Now, let us not waste any more of the monarch's precious time. Before you lies the door, and beyond it the prisoner awaits his captor. Oh, look at him, he's just so innocent. That was a long one. I'm just gonna take a sip of water, because that was a long monologue. I'm gonna be having dinner soon, so I'm trying not to eat in between this. Getting kinda close. Anyway, let's continue. You finish your ascent and open the door, and there he is, sitting at the living room table while cradling his lyre. We got the wine! Yo, I got the booze! Upon your entrance, the Minotaur recoils as if hit in the stomach. A held breath is punched out of him. It takes him a moment to even look to one side and see you there, and another to see the wine. The dark shape in your hand, looking so odd, swirling and sloshing. The Minotaur opens his mouth and speaks, or to speak and lingers, silent. He shudders, chills running up his spine all the way to the back of his head. Then it assaults him again. That terrible sensation, as if hummingbirds were pecking at the back of his head. It seems as if he was about to speak, but with all the turbulence he just takes a breath instead. Are you okay? He exhales a little harder. His nostrils flare into a snort. Yes, master. I'm fine. I'm just a little shocked, even now. The Minotaur has not stood up. You shake the bottle in his direction. Well, don't look at me like a deer in headlights. Get over here. The Minotaur's breathing is short and agitated, as if he was resting from a sprint. His eyes betray some kind of daze. A deer? Me? Upon hearing your words, he reaches up and caresses his horns, checking if they had become antlers, and stands at the command. Ah, there he is. He approaches, arms sticking straight down at his sides, as if he didn't know what to do with them. Perhaps he expected more aplomb, more ritual. To be handed the bottle like this, as a friend would deliver a parcel, makes this moment tentative. Asterion extends his hands and gingerly takes it. His grip is so gentle that the surface of the bottle glides over his head. Just a moment of distraction would be enough to make it slip. His thumb brushes some tarnish from his neck, and he watches the sediment shift with every movement. He aligns it with a lamp and looks through the glass as if a wide, dark... His thumb brushes some tarnish from the neck as he watches the sediment shift with every movement. He aligns it with a lamp and looks through the glass as if at a wide, dark sea. His eyebrows are pursed. His gaze is implacable. His tail droops straight down and goes immobile. He stands like a statue when he should be jumping for joy. Oh no, my headphones turned off. Looks like I won't have any music to listen to while I continue. Here we go, we are just doing this blind. Is this the real deal? Is it not the right wine? So help me God, that snake screwed us with like this. No, this is it. It's just... The Minotaur's ears flick as he trowels off into the slots. He uncorks the bottle with a delicate care and raises it to his nose. He inhales, then his shoulders collapse as he sets it on the table. August did not lie. However, excuse me, master, perhaps I rose too quickly. I need to sit down. He looks from the bottle to you, to the window, to the lyre, back to the bottle. His eyes are wide open, his nostrils flare with each short breath. He tries to look back at you, but something has changed. His eyes look dulled, as if he is lost in thought. Uh-oh. Something bad's happening. Uh-oh. What can I do to repay this? His kindness will cease if I do not repay him. How could he go so far out of his way to undertake this? He could not possibly mean anything but to further some kind of use. What am I getting into here? There must be a catch. There always is. Just like what happened with Tithonus. One cannot liberate another without taking shackles on their own. So why would he do this? What does he want from me? I'm indebted now, beyond being a slave. I now have yet another leash on my neck. It would have been better had he never gone through the trouble. Why even bark and chatter in your head like this? It doesn't matter what you think. He gave you something, so you need to take it. Stop dawdling. Don't tense up. It's the polite thing to do. He gave you something, so take it. For nearly a minute now, the Minotaur has been silent. Unmoving except for the twitching ears and furrowing eyebrows. Asterion, are you sure there's nothing Thank you, He stands while speaking, but stops. He takes another step forward, but does not meet your eyes. I apologize for speaking over you, master, but... Thank you. He raises his arms halfway to his chest. It is not quite a shrug. Thank you. Just... Hey, listen. It's fine, okay? You seem to be a little overwhelmed today. I understand that. I was just talking with Argos, after all, and I know that can get to you. This has been such a busy week, aside from the entire Valley situation. So, don't worry, okay? Everything is fine. Now, How about you have a drink? Let's go step by step. Do you want a glass?
No, it's fine. I can drink from the bottle.
Okay, so now have a drink. The Minotaur nods. He squares his shoulders and breathes out, in what one can assume is relief.
As you wish, sir. Thank you.
He takes the bottle as he brings it to his mouth and he looks at you again to make sure it's okay. You make your own almost shrugging response. So he drinks. He begins with a paused gulp to appreciate the wine's flavor, to breathe in and out before getting to it. His nostrils flare in a snort as the wine, enjoyable as it may be, burns his throat. The Minotaur closes his eyes and throws his head back. His Adam's apple bobs with each mouthful, and the bottle bubbles as its contents are emptied around the imperfect seal of Asterion's lips. All the while, nothing happens. He remains exactly the same, an ear still without fur, and an eye. The hotel shudders. The floor beneath you quakes, and you hear it again. The groaning sound of the obsidian at the bedrock rubbing against itself. Earthquake! It almost sounds like a faraway yell. Am I ready? Am I ready? I don't know. Am I ready, Nivik? Am I ready? It almost sounds like a faraway yell. The table groans as Asterion bangs the empty wine bottle against it. His tail flicks over to the floor. His eyes are shut tight. His left eye is closed for the first time in a long time. And he seems to be concentrating on it. Let's just hide that for a second. Is that his final form? You have not seen Asterion's final form! Yes, look at that sexy body, indeed. Oh. Wow. Huh. How do you feel? God, he looks so good.
I feel fine. A tad tipsy. It is quite unsettling having two eyes again after so long. But in a good way.
The Minotaur shakes himself like a dog when he would try and dry himself. His ears and tail flap around. Oh, it's adorable.
I feel heavy. It's been a long time since I've been like this.
He looks so beautiful. Looks hard at everything, but...
I hope this is how I used to look like. More or less. I hope you aren't.
Nah, don't worry about a thing, Asterion. Everything's fine. And in fact... you look great.
Oh,
Oh, he's blushing! Ah!
Thank you.
But maybe we should get going. Don't you have the concert?
Oh, by the 12!
You look at the remains of the shirt you made for Asterion, lying on the ground and torn to shreds. Oh no!
I'm very sorry, Master. This is...
Oh, he's blushing again! He's gonna get me.
This is the way I prefer togas. My
My neck doesn't get along with tight collars. Well, don't you worry about it. We can mend it later. Right now, you should be getting ready for your show. Yes, I should. His ears flick as if to shake off forgetfulness. The Minotaur moves about the room to straighten himself up, gather his lyre, and make sure of the tuning of the strings. I found out this became a meme recently, and I have to mention. No, not that meme! No! Critics, you didn't have to say it. As he gets involved with his lyre, you listen to him muttering. Here and there, you snatch a word or two. Gimme! Got yourself lost in wine. Archias said, and it's true, Enogne Arthea, Aletheia, En Anoi Aletheia, En. I'm gonna try and master this, I swear. En Anoi Aletheia. There we go, I got it! Between the few words you comprehend, there are streaks of hums, trying to hit the lyre's notes. That Asterion look of gasp. As you me when I climb Asterion's chest. When he gets back to being ready to leave, lyre in hand, his face contorts into a surprise that you see that you're still there. Master, I thought... Thank you again. What were you saying back there, if you don't mind me asking? Me moi mignoy. I noi mignoy. It's, Alkaios. En anoi alathea. He sang a lot about drinking. That there is truth in wine. I mean, drinking helped me loosen up a bit. I didn't know what to say, but it helped. Blame it on the alcohol, baby. Alcohol. Oh goodness, my late 2000s beef would just, go nuts at that. Huh, I'm curious. Doesn't the hotel translate what people say? Shouldn't I have heard the translation? Pull a Kalen. But I suppose that is a matter for another time. How about we go to the lounge together? Holding hands. Shoot, I gotta get that out of my mind. No, not holding hands yet. Dirty mind of mine. Asterion tenses his jaw. He looks down to your feet, as if lost in thought. Yes, master. Very well. You and Asterion head out, side by side. Look at him. It's night out. The grand staircase is draped in darkness, but a glimpse towards the heavens reveals the twinkling stars. An immense foamy sea, moving ever so slow. Murmurs and song crawl up from the ground floor. So, what do you have in mind for tonight? Just a few of the old songs I know. Nothing special. In fact, they may sound odd for modern sensibilities. They are... Asterion sighs and looks down to his lyre. He rubs his thumb over the side of it, back and forth, followed by a flick of his ears. There's a rhythm to him. His thumb is twice as fast as his steps downstairs. His ears flicker after every third step, and his tail swishes after every fifth. Then he almost stumbles. He's not used to his new center of gravity. He puts a hand on the guardrail and snorts. As soon as he takes his next step, he stumbles again. You reach out to hold his hand. You reach out to hold his hand. Are you sure there's nothing wrong? I'm sorry, Master. I'm just a bit in my head. You attempt to let go of his hand, now larger and rougher than before. But his fingers curl around yours and resist, at least until he gingerly lets go. No, come back. He takes a breath and seems to concentrate. Hand holding is lewd! You can't do that! I'm sorry, Mac Fryling. My mind got the best of me. Oh, did I read that line? Yeah, seems to concentrate. You reach the ground floor and take the hallway to the lounge. The lights aren't lit yet, so you and Asterion walk in darkness once more. Further ahead, there is a slit of light flowing from the lounge's door. And beyond that is a hallway that leads you to the kitchen, where you find Asterion mere days ago. The guests' laughter and voices, Luke's boisterous shrieks, Kota's rumbling bass, and now your footsteps mixed with the clapping of Asterion's hooves. His gait is larger than yours now, lumbering, slow movements, each step swaying him like a pendulum from side to side. Still, the two of you find a common rhythm. 3 of yours for every second step of his. You're almost there now. You look to the Minotaur. He looks away, then back to you. Look at your Minotaur. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now look at your man. Now back to me. He isn't a big white Minotaur. And brings his gaze down to your feet. I'm gonna keep bragging about this fact that the community college I went to was the same one that the original Old Spice guy went to before eventually, transferring to university, becoming a pro NFL player and having quite an expansive career. And I think he still does like some of the Old Spice commercials still. Like the one where it's like the body wash, but like his wife or whatever, or girlfriend in the commercial keeps taking his body wash. Yeah. He has like a poster thing like in one of our like halls or whatever. Pretty cool. I'm sure you'll do fine. Asterion. But good luck. I'll get you a cup of water for when you go on stage. You turn to move away, but the Minotaur's hand catches yours. He pulls you close with a stiff jerk, and then wraps you with his other arm. He squeezes you, but in an almost glacial, gentle way, mixed with the warmth of his skin and breath around you. This is getting kind of risque. Hugs. Whew! Call me Jesse J, I'm burning up in here! Despite his newfound bulk, Asterion is soft, his fur like silk against your skin and spreading around you a gentle scent. No fragrance, except for a distant note of warm fur and tanning skin. His hooves shuffle, not knowing where to step, but each movement is shy. They graze the floor instead of stomping it, afraid of so much as scraping your shoes. He lays his head on top of yours, with his muzzle in particular nuzzling against your hair. He grumbles something, and it takes a few tries for him to say it out loud. Thanks. Thank you. Oh, there is warmth around you, but also tension. Asterion's movements remain jerky and stiff. Oh, this is such a good photo of him. Or such a good sprite of him. Ah. Your own surprise passes over, however. You respond to his hug in kind. His tail jerks and swishes in response, then droops. A rumble escapes his throat as you squeeze his midsection. The tension dissipates. Your shoulders relax. His arms fit and mold around you. The weight of his head falls on yours. He breathes through your hair and nozzles you. His pink nose is soft, even a bit wet. You squeeze him harder, but with the same glacial pace his own movements displayed. You're met with another grunt, although by now you can tell it's not one of complaint. Two of you remain very still as the voices further ahead celebrate and cheer their own victories, their brief nights of rest, and perhaps even a new found home. Out of sight, surrounded by light, they celebrate. And here in this velvety darkness, you and Asterion breathe each other's scents. When the time comes to say goodbye, the two of you relax your fingertips, then hands, and finally arms as bit by bit you disentangle yourselves. Just like that, it's over. And the only evidence left of that gesture, besides the sweet memory, is the Minotaur's quickened, shallow breathing. He looks down to his clothes, now rumpled, and moves to tidy them before looking back at you. Then to the lounge and his lyre. The moment for departure is at hand. It's time for his concert to start. He turns halfway, then swivels back at you, mouth agape and eyes seeking words. That stiffness returns by degrees to his movements. He grumbles something. Perhaps another thank you. Although he seems to transition into another, more complex phrase you didn't quite catch. Thank you. I enjoyed that. You don't gotta be all flustered. It was nice of you. Again, thank you. Thank you. Also? The growing agitation does not dissipate, but it does not increase either. So, feel free to hug me again if you wish. May I do the same to you? May I give a premarital hug? Well, yes, master, that would be very pleasant. Thank you. Something shifts in his eyes. There is once a sharpness there, perhaps a measure of fear. It had wavered in and out, like a flame resisting the wind, ever since you released him from the cold room. But it's gone for now, and he sees you. Sometimes I look at you, and it's like I'm seeing an old friend I knew back in Crete. Like a little window into the past. Is that a good thing? Yes, friends are a very precious thing, Dirk. Perhaps I want to believe. I was so confused today. But the wine must have loosened me. And now? I'm rambling, I know. Forgive me. The Minotaur's ears flicker as the voices inside the lounge get rowdier. He budges, as if turning back to the door, but his eyes don't want to leave you. The Minotaur takes another deep breath. With an almost identical, almost rehearsed movement, he grabs you close again in his arms, but more gentle, more deliberate. He only holds you for a second, too short for you to even respond in kind. Before you know it, he lets you out of his brief embrace again. He doesn't quite meet your gaze. You, said I could hug you again, if I wished. So... You laugh. You are advancing way too fast! Yes, we are, Trinix. Way too fast. Aw, thanks, Gayflower. It is so cute. I did say that, and I did mean it. So, thank you again. Shall we go in? He nods to you. He smiles to himself, and he nods again to you. You take a step forward and, side by side, the two of you go in. Oh, look at him! Well, this stage should be set. Do you want to go get ready? Ah, yes, I should do that. Eee. The atmosphere in the lounge tonight feels festive and lively. A far cry from when you first came here. Kota, who on any other day would run his restaurant like a proud captain of a tight ship, is not bothered by the chatter and festive mood of the room. Luke sits next to the Uruguayan workers. He's scooting a little too close to the burliest of the pair, laughing at all the jokes and making some of his own whenever possible, much to the other's chagrin. Ishmael and Greta are sitting at one of the tables far away. The former is glued to his phone, watching something while the latter is pushing him to socialize. And to think, just a week ago, this place was dead and bloodstained. What an accomplishment! You turn to Asterion as he gets up on the stage. The Minotaur covers his eyes. The lights glare at him, carving a dull pain into the back of his head. He looks down to the steps leading up to this platform and goes step by step as he lumbers with the new weight of his body. 20 or so sets of eyes are fixed on him, on his bullish features, his horns, and his newly healed self. It's been a while since he has been in the spotlight like this. But when he was a child, old women would come and put flowers in his horns. Dozens of ladies in succession, and he would cover his eyes in much the same way then. The way they would ask for his blessings. The men would plead he bless their crops until it became too much. He'd cry, and his father or wet nurse would pull him away and scold him for throwing a tantrum. He cradles the lyre against his chest. A string grazes his shirt and lets out a hum. It sends out a spark of confidence. He moves his arm away, pulls the stool, and sits down. Asterion's gaze turns to his hand, more specifically, to the wristband you made for him, and he smiles. He looks at the guests, each and every one of them in succession, then to you. Hi. Hello, everyone. I think I should introduce myself first. My name is Asterion, and as you can see, I am not exactly human. I work here at the hotel. It's where I spent most of my life, in a way. He traces his thumb along the string again, letting it vibrate into the air, not quite plucking it. Until last week, this place was abandoned. It was just me here. I'm glad to see people again. So many new faces. So, among you... No, good thing you didn't say among us. So, among you are our first guests after our reopening. And I know some of you are leaving tomorrow morning. So we thought it would be nice to do something special. This is for you, our guests. But I am dedicating it to a friend. I hope you will enjoy tonight, and that when you leave, that you take this with you, and take it with you fond memories. If you ever need a home, or just a place to rest, our doors are open. The Minotaur positions his lyre and breathes. There he is! Oh, this is so sweet. He places his fingertips along a few strings on one side of the lyre, and strums with his other hand. He begins to hum. It gets louder through plaintive notes of the chant-like rhythm. He says a few snatches of words as he begins to pluck out the melody he hummed. Only the last line did he sing out, a look of consternation and worry fading into the simple calm as the last notes fade into silence. I hope you don't mind I didn't sing that one. I found, just as I got on stage, I cannot remember the words, so I hoped the strings alone would do. I wasn't quite sure that the muses were with me this evening, but the 9 of the Helicon are here, it seems, and they deserve acknowledgement before I continue. My older brother taught me to play, and one of the first things you do in a performance is invoke the muses, he said. Tonight, they did not see fit to remove song completely from me, and made me remember my brother. May my song's reverence with them be always as their mercy is to me. So, I thank you, muses, who were not too cross with me. Please aid my song. He plucks another melody out, a single line of notes stretching through the room, strings left to ring out. Once you notice how much the melody has the contour and cadence of speech, you hear his fingers stop a few strings. He strums again and begins to sing, putting words to what he just played. It is not quite a bellow, but his bone-fine throat is open and as his voice rumbles out an epic hymn. A lyric. A drinking song. While the song lasts, he is shameless. His presence flows and captivates. His heaviness was never less burdensome. Between each of these, however, Asterion's bashfulness returns as he explains what the song is about. But while he sings and while he plays, he's not self-conscious. His eyes aren't closed out of shyness, but out of feeling like himself. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed your stay and... Thank you once again. Great job, great job, great job. I love it. Is this the end of the chapter? What's happening? Oh no. Somebody call me. Uh-oh. I've been having the strangest dreams lately, Dad. Oh, new character! I see this dark room. It looks like some kind of ancient Greek temple or something. At the middle of it, there's a big hunk of purple rock. I've been having these ever since Grandpa died, and we had that whole thing about his will. But lately, it's different. Oh my goodness. It's sad that I know, or I think I know what kind of bird this is. I think he's a condor. It's funny because, like, there's a school that was near us that had a similar, like, colors and, like, mascot and all that, so that's why I say that. But anyway, I've been having those ever since Grandpa died, and we had that whole thing about his will. But lately, it's different. There were people there. A number of them, actually. And, you know, one of them was a Minotaur. Just like Grandpa said. I've been thinking about it, yes. I mean, it's not like I have anything better to do right now. Ugh. I got a job offer, kinda. But they don't know for sure yet. And I have some savings. Well, I've been thinking about paying Grandpa a visit. A little car trip. Who knows? Maybe the stories about the hotel are true after all. I want to find out that myself. What the fuck? Now, that's just a very mean thing. That's a very mean thing to say about your father. You taught me better than that. Listen, none of that is going to stop me. You might as well save yourself the effort. Oh, he's a peacock. Oh. If it's best if I hang up now. Goodbye. Ah, fucking piece of shit. I'll show you. So many eyes. Chapter 13. Little Stars. Well, this is where we're gonna save and end for today, so... Save button work, damn it! I'm just gonna... Why the heck not just save here? And we are going to go back to the title sequence. Alright, so at 3:25:30, that is the end of chapters 11 and 12. I was nervous that I didn't save any of the chapter contents. Alright, so... we made $6.99. We got the funny number. Yeah, 6:9. Anyway, enough of my immaturity. I'm going to do my, as usual, my patron thanking. I guess that's what I call it. I'm thanking my dorks, all of y'all, just for being there for me and just, you know, supporting the channel and its great work. So, here we go. We are going to this screen again. So, as usual, here's my spiel. Patrons have some awesome exclusive perks, and depending on what tiers, you may get some more exclusive perks. But yeah, many of those perks include, for all our tiered patrons, exclusive not safe for work readings and possibly sketches, 7-day early access to Ocean Avenue, so 7 days before the public release comes out for it, and exclusive posts and sketches relating to that novel, and just other things that I would just make for my patrons. So it could be just polls about what I want to do next, could be opinions or feedback about what I want to do. Yeah, various different things like that. And so being a patron has all those great perks, and you could be a tiered for patron for as low as $3 a month. So these are the people that help me keep going with my creative endeavors. Let's start out with those fellow dorks. North Grizz, Andrew Corona, Type A Roth, Mogrim Wolfram, Andrew Buenaventura, Kuma Richards, Ryan Atkins, Crunchy Balls, Tagrin, Neil, Kiam Otter, Spink, Spatan98, Johnny, and Dinkdark. Now I want to give a very special thanks to my exclusive dorks, Fire Knight 2008, Kale Tiger, and Taylor. So those are my patrons, and one last time I'm going to post that Ocean Avenue Paradise shirt fundraiser thing. Once again, the most popular one is this blue shirt right here, but it also comes in white and pink. You can also see what they look like on the form itself. I do model them on there, so there's the number here is an extra $5 option, so just imagine this without the number, just this little thing on the back, and on the front is what you get. So here we go, posting that one last time for y'all. It's in the description too if you want to check it out there too. So that's all I got for today, everybody. But I'm going to round this stream up to the nearest half hour, so 3 hours 30 minutes. So give myself 30 more seconds. Take a sip of water to get this outro nice and special. Okay, why did I do that with 2 hands? Silly me. I'm going to wait until I have like about 10-15 seconds left. Alright, so I want to thank you all so much for watching again, and until next time, take care, folks!